the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And the great visionary behind this glorious thought was Jamsetji Nusserwanji Tata. Jamsetji Tata was born in a Parsi family in the year 1839. Tata came to Bombay for higher studies and passed out as a green scholar. Devotion, dedication, and diligence were the hallmark of Tata's traits. He joined his father's business and soon acquired proficiency in trade matters. But cotton industry attracted him the most. In 1877, Tata started the Empress Mill at Nagpur. Tata's goal was on the production of goods of high quality, not just for acquiring huge profits, but primarily as a principle of business ethics. Over the years, Tata's presence in Bombay bore a distinct stamp. Who can miss out on the Taj Mahal Hotel at Mumbai? His wise and imaginative investment in properties and the financial gains that accrued to him from his companies made Tata one of the wealthiest persons in the country. In 1893, Tata had an opportunity to sail with Swami Vivekananda. Later, in his letter to Swamiji, Tata wrote, "I recall these ideas in connection with my scheme of a research institute of science in India." Tata was fully engrossed in plans for establishing an institution for higher learning in science.
So he was contemplating to think of a higher educational institution, and in that connection he wrote a letter to Lord Rao, the Governor of Bombay and also Chancellor of the Bombay University, expressing his intention to start an institute of higher learning.
With the help of an educationist, Burjorji Padsha, he drew up a scheme, tentatively titled the Teaching University of India, and presented to Lord Curzon, the then British Viceroy. The university scheme itself underwent changes as a result of the reviews by William Ramsay, a Nobel laureate. Ramsay preferred the name Indian Institute of Research and declared, "I unreservedly select Bangalore as an ideal place for such an institute." Tata secured the consent of the Maharaja of Mysore for a gift of 372 acres of land.
Through a generous funding support that he gave, as well as the land that was gifted by the then Maharaja of Mysore, His Highness Krishnaraja Wadayar IV, this institute came into being.
It was perhaps the irony of fate that Jamsetji Nusserwanji Tata did not live to see the birth of his brainchild. The legend of a personality breathed his last in 1904 and buried in Brookwood Cemetery at London. But his spirit remained the immortal guiding force behind the formation of his dream institution. In 1909, the vesting order was issued by the Government of India for actual establishment of the Indian Institute of Science. The institute, most popularly known as Tata's Institute, opened its doors to students in 1911. The sedate but imposing central building of the Indian Institute of Science instantly strikes as a seat of knowledge. The statue of the founder in front of the central building stands as a proud picture of satisfaction, caressing the institution that he designed to create new technology frontiers. The inscription at his feet records a grateful tribute to the founder, his foresight, patriotism, and his perception of the benefits of advanced research. The first three directors were the British chemists Maurice Travers, A.G. Bourne, and M.O. Foster. During the directorship of Maurice Travers, the construction of the building commenced with the architecture still reminiscent of colonial ambience. The initial period of 25 years from 1909 to 1934 was a cycle of consolidation. From a meadow status, the institute built up a reputation of its own among the various universities in the country. It launched several scientific investigations, the findings of which provided the data resource for setting up certain critical industries in the country. The Nobel laureate in physics, Sir CV Raman, to head the institute as the first Indian director. With him came a new department of applied physics. With a scientist at the helm, every other discipline of the institute was also a beehive of R&D activities. Homi J Bhabha set up a cosmic ray research laboratory at the institute. He created a research team that included the likes of Vikram S Sarabhai. It was a confluence of great characters when Mahatma Gandhi visited the institute during the directorship of CV Raman. In 1940s, the institute was navigated along a course of carefully planned expansion under the directorship of J.C. Ghosh. In 1958, the institute was declared a deemed university. The new status empowered it to award degrees including PhD, ME, and BE. The year 1959 witnessed the Golden Jubilee celebrations. President Dr. Rajendra Prasad, in his message, complimented the leading role of the institute as a premier scientific forum, credited with worldwide recognition. Prestigious honorary fellowship of IISc were conferred on Jawaharlal Nehru, CV Raman, and M. Visvesvaraya. Every change of guard brought in its wake a breath of fresh thinking and innovative approach. So it was when Satish Dhawan took over as the director.
Professor Satish Dhawan, he is my guru in many respects. And when he was a director of, when he was a professor in Department of Aeronautics, I have closely worked with him. When he was the director of Indians of Science, at that time I was in ISRO. and he many research programs, simulation program, particularly digital analog digital simulation program, he initiated.